Hey friends, welcome to my Facebook Live. I was finally able to get on. Today is Monday, August 8th. It's 4 p.m., a little after 4 p.m. Mountain Time. So today I'm doing my monthly online class, which is free for everyone to watch and attend. And I am offering a make and take kit for the cards that I am demonstrating today. So today I'm going to be using the Ringed with Nature stamp set. So these are some of the cards that I'll be making today with you all. And this is the Ringed with Nature stamp set, and I'll be using the dies as well. And if you'd like to get the make and take kit, all you have to do is place an order using this hostess code. It needs to be $35 or more, and you need to place the order by Wednesday, which would be August 10th. And then I'll automatically send kits out to everyone that used this hostess code and spend at least $35. If you spend $50 or more, you'll also get a celebration item of your choice. You'll get the make and take for free, and then you'll also get my monthly tutorial bundle for free by email. So if you're joining, say hello. Looks like we have Diana. Thanks for joining, Diana. I'm excited that you're here. If you're not aware, Stampin' Up! did release some additional celebration items. So if you already got everything in the little catalog, or maybe you got what you wanted, and nothing else is enticing to you, they did release some new items that are out of the regular catalogs. So one of those is the Timber 3D embossing folder, which I'm going to be using today as well. Okay, and if you purchase this bundle, the stamp set and the dies, I believe it's $52, $52.50. Okay, so that would get you the celebration item. So you could either get the embossing folder, or you could get the designer series paper that goes along with it, which is this is the it's called Rings of Love Designer Series paper. And I've shared this a lot, so I'm not actually using it today, but it's really beautiful paper and it coordinates with the bundle I'm using today. So that's another celebration item. So, okay, what else? Hey Ronnie, thanks for joining us today. I was having trouble getting my video to turn. So I am eventually going to be moving my lives to YouTube. I'll stream them through my Facebook page, but Facebook just changes too many things too often, and it makes things really difficult. So if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. I'm trying to change my URL so that it's easy to remember. However, I need 100 subscribers in order to do so. So check that out. I'll include the hostess code on this post. Sorry, I'm paying attention to the comments. I'll include this hostess code on the post as soon as I'm done with this video, okay? And if you're watching the replay, let me know what you think. If you're so inclined, please feel free to share this video. If you do comment that you shared it, I'll be giving away a little package of handmade cards. So that'll be a prize. I'll draw the winner on Thursday after the hostess code ends. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to be making 4 cards today, featuring the Ringed with Nature stamp set. Now, I love this stamp set because it has sentiments in it, different ones that we don't often see, like Happy Anniversary and Get Well Soon, and then it's got some holidays, so with the Merry Christmas, and it's got like the poinsettia. This could be a regular flower, but I think it's a really versatile set. So I really like this one. So let's go ahead and get started. So if you're watching the replay and you have a make and take kit, the ink colors that I'm using today are Soft Suede, Early Espresso, Mossy Meadow, and Crumb Cake, as well as Mary Merlot and Blackberry Bliss. So you can change these out with whatever you have. There's some pretty neutral colors, okay? If you don't have all of them, just improvise. If you did get the kit to go, you will get everything that's die cut, but I won't be able to stamp anything for you, okay? So you'll get everything that's die cut, you'll get the embellishments. If you don't have this stamp set, I encourage you to order it, but if it's not your style, just improvise with something else, okay? So our first card is going to start with the very vanilla card base, okay? And I did some of my big shot work before we joined to save some time, but I die cut a circle out of my very vanilla as well. I'm going to layer that on here. Okay, so this first card is going to use Blackberry Bliss ink and Mossy Meadow ink, okay? And I am using a punch from the annual catalog. I forget what it's called, but it's like, I don't know, Twigs and Sprigs or something like that. You might already have this. If not, you can use a die from the bundle, or you can use something else you already have. I'm going to cut 3 of these to put on my card. So, let's do that. Okay. Oh, and then for this one, I'm also using Early Espresso ink. But like I said, if you don't have all these colors, just improvise with what you have. I wanted these cards to be real neutral in my colors. So, okay. So on this one, I'm doing a Get Well Soon, and I'm going to stamp Thinking of You as well. So the Get Well Soon, I am going to stamp on the bottom of my card here. So I hope my thing is up high enough so you can see. All right. So, and my words are going to be in Early Espresso. So I'm going to stamp this on the bottom. The punch is called Bow. Bow. Thank you, Diana. And then I have my circle here. And I just die cut this out just to add a little, to make the card a little more interesting. I didn't want a bunch of layers on it. By cutting out a circle in the same color as the base, it just makes it a little more interesting. Okay. So then I'm going to stamp. I tried to use as many of the stamps from the stamp set as possible today, to show you how versatile this set is. So we're going to use this one, which is the stems for some little flowers that are in there. And I'm going to take one of those and just stamp it right there, like so. And then there's another stamp in there that has the 3 little flowers, and these line up with those little centers there, and I'm just going to stamp that in the Blackberry Bliss. Now you could do any color you want. If you're getting this as a kit, and you don't have Blackberry Bliss, most of the cards are pretty universal with any color. So, all right, so we're going to stamp that, and then there's another little stamp that's like this, and I'm going to do that in the Mossy Meadow, and stamp it on here just for a little more interest. So just like so. And then my thinking of you is in here. So if you just wanted to leave this thinking of you, you don't have to do the get well soon on the bottom. But okay, and the early espresso, and I'm putting the flowers just kind of, I don't want them straight, I want them just off centered a little bit. Okay, and then the thinking of you will go right here, just like so. Okay, so very simple. And then what I'm going to do is oops, I got ink on my fingers. So we're going to cover that up, and we'll cover that up also. Let's see here. So you got a little ink right there, but that's okay. We'll figure something out. We'll cover it up. I'll put a little more embellishments on this one. So I'm going to use some dimensionals to pop this up. And then I'm going to stick my little sprigs in behind it. Just using some liquid glue. We just had a tax-free weekend. So I placed my annual adhesive order yesterday. So I order for the whole year. If you order one or two things on the tax-free weekend, it doesn't really save you that much, but if you order for the whole year, it saves you quite a bit. So that was exciting for me. Okay, so there's that, and then I'm going to add some, because I got ink on here, I'm going to add some embellishments, and I'm using the rustic metallic dots because they're a neutral color and they go well with all of my projects today. So I'm just going to put that over that, and then we'll put another one right there. So it looks like I meant to do it. And then maybe another one right there, just like so. Okay, so no one will ever know I had a little ink spot there, except you guys. So don't tell, okay? So that's our first card. Pretty simple. Fun. Okay. So, and then the next card we are going to make is this one here. So again, pretty simple, but I wanted to share. I think sometimes when people look at this stamp set, they automatically think of like the holidays or something, and it doesn't have to be. So for this one, I'm going to use crumb cake card base. Okay, and this one I'm going to turn on the side. And for this one, I am using the Early Espresso faux suede trim. So I don't know if you've ever used this, but it's really fun to work with. This is a great ribbon for masculine cards. It's easy to tie bows and knots with it if you have a difficult time with those. So again, if you get the kit in the mail, you will get a piece of this ribbon. So that's a great way to sample different products as well. So I tried to use a couple different ones on the cards today. Okay. So for this card, I'm just using this little leaf kind of foliage thing, and I'm going to use the flowers again. Okay. We are going to use the Mossy Meadow and the crumb cake ink. Okay. And then I'm going to use the early espresso for my words again. Okay. And for this one, I'm just going to do Just For You. And I am going to use the double oval punch as well. So this is a pretty popular punch. It's very versatile. So if you don't already have it, I suggest getting it. A lot of our sentiments fit in there. And so this is how I usually try to tell if it fits in there. Let's just put it over the top. But so for this card, I am going to use, I think I have a scrap of vanilla. Okay. For my words, and then a scrap of soft suede for the scalloped part. Okay. Hey Lori, thanks for joining us. Okay, so on this one, I did use my little pad. So these are photopolymer stamps, which means that they don't have the cushion on them. And so for some of the images, when they're more solid like this, the stamp doesn't always make contact with the paper. So it helps to have some kind of cushion underneath your paper to ensure that it does. So so that's why I'm putting, this is the Stampin' Pierce mat, and I actually cut it in half, because when I use it, it's usually for a piece of cardstock this size. And then I cut it in half also because then I can share them with more people at my card classes. So if you're wondering why it's this size, it's cut in half. So I'm going to come in and I'm just going to stamp these leaves randomly across the card. Like so. Okay. And that is in the Mossy Meadow. And then I'm going to come in with the little 3 flowers in my crumb cake. And I'm just going to stamp those around the tops of those leaves. Okay, might have to turn the stamp a little bit, just so that it's kind of like a border. Just like so. And then we have our Just For You, which I'm going to stamp in the early espresso on my very vanilla oval. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to tie my suede trim around, and I'm going to tie it in a knot. We'll trim that up. So if you're new joining us, once a month I have my online card class. Every week I have my Facebook Live at 4, but once a month it's an online card class, which means that you can get the Make and Take kit for free by placing an order with the appropriate hostess code. So that's how this is different than a regular Facebook Live. So, in case you're wondering. All right, so there's that. And then I just cut out, so with the dies, these are the dies. And so there's this one here that has like these little berries. I just cut some of these pieces out of the different colors of cardstock that I was going to be using today. So that's why I'm going to use this one on this card. One of the things that I love about these dies, and one of the things I love about Stampin' Up! Dies, is that they make multiples of certain images, so that rather than you know, if you wanted multiples of these branches, rather than having to run it through several times, you can run it through once and get several different branches with leaves. So if you weren't aware of that, that's something they do, and I really like it. Saves you a lot of time. Okay, so then we'll put some dimensionals on this piece, and I'm going to center it right under my knot, and then I'm just going to use a little liquid adhesive. I might curl these leaves a little bit, and then just glue this right under there, like so. And then again, I'm going to use my rustic metallic dots, just to put a little more embellishment on here. So these I might, let's see, we'll put one up here, and let's see, I have such a hard time with this, I don't know why. Maybe there, and then we'll do one more down here, just like so. Okay, so there's the second card. Okay, so what do you guys think so far? Does anyone already own this bundle? Are you thinking about getting it? Let's see here. Okay. Alrighty, so the next card that I'm going to make is this one here. Okay, another sweet and simple card. This one uses some of the embossing folder that comes with this set, and so I'm going to share a little information about that one. The ink colors on this are Blackberry Bliss, Soft Suede, and Early Espresso. Okay, so if you're watching the replay and making your make and take kit, those are the colors you'll need. Okay, so with this bundle, the dies are have what is called a hybrid embossing folder, and that means that, let me get it here, let me find it. That means it has an embossing folder that has a die piece that goes on the inside. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that, but that is the silver die cutting piece, and it sits right inside of the embossing folder. When you put a full sheet of cardstock in here and run it through your machine, the sandwich is for a 3D embossing folder, because that's what this is. Then it will automatically cut and emboss your little tree stumps, your little tree rings here. So it makes it quick and easy, and then you get lots of these little pieces. So we're going to use one for this card. I'm going to actually use that one, and then we're going to save the others for another card. If you've got the make and take kit, these will be included in your kit. Okay, so you can kind of see how they work. We have a few of the hybrid embossing folders. So this is one of them. There's a couple of Christmas ones as well. So I'm not sure if you all were aware of those or not. But so for this card, we're going to start out with a very vanilla card base. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. And again, this one says happy anniversary. You can make it anything you want. Okay. So I'm going to put my pad underneath here because I'm going to be stamping the house, and the house is kind of a solid image. Okay. So the house comes in two pieces. You have the bottom of the house and you have the roof. Okay. So I'm going to do the bottom of the house in the soft suede. Now, if you don't have a lot of ink colors, you could do stamping off, which means maybe if the base of your house is a lighter color, you're going to ink it up, and then you're going to stamp off onto your paper and then onto your card. It will create a lighter color of ink, and then you can come in and do your roof full strength of the same color, and it will have 2 different shades. So, for example, if you stamped this and then stamp off, okay, see it's a lighter color, and then we will come in with our roof, oops, hold on, using the same color but full strength, and stamp over it, and then you get a house that's 2 different shades. So if you're limited on your ink colors, that's an idea for you, okay? All right, so let's start with our house, and I'm just gonna kind of stamp it here. Doesn't really matter where you stamp it, it's just off to the side, and then we'll put our rings and kind of build from there. And then our roof is going to be early espresso. And with the photopolymer stamps, you can kind of see where you're stamping. Okay. And then I'm going to stamp in the, keep wanting to say rich raspberry, blackberry bliss. We're going to stamp some flowers. And they're just going to kind of go down the side here. Just like so. Okay. And then I have a scrap piece of vanilla here. Okay. And that I'm going to stamp my words on here. So I have the happy anniversary, just part of this stamp set. And I'm just going to stamp on the edge of this very vanilla, because I'm going to cut it out. So right on the edge. And then you could cut that out with your scissors. I am going to use my little mini paper trimmer. If you don't have a mini paper trimmer, you could use a regular trimmer. But I do have this. This was a past offering for demonstrators to join. Okay, so I'm just going to put that straight down. And then I'll come in here and trim this piece off with my snips, like so. Okay. All right, and then we can build our card. So I am going to use this one little round, little wood round. I guess you call it tree rings, right? And then I cut out, where did they go? Oh, I cut out all these little extra pieces with the dies out of Mossy Meadow. Okay. Again, if you get the kit to go, you will get these little pieces in yours. Okay. So I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use this one. These I'll save for something else. Okay. And then on this one, I used linen thread. So for the linen thread, I like to double it up like so. And then do a little bow. Okay. Hey Lisa, thanks for joining us. Glad you like the cards. Okay. Okay. So this one we're using linen thread. Okay, so then I'm about ready to finish my card. I am going to use dimensionals on this tree ring to pop it up. And I'm just going to kind of put it over here. Okay, and then I'll use my liquid Tombow glue for my little pieces here. I don't put glue on the whole piece. I just put a little on the stem. Okay, and then I'm going to stick that in kind of where I have this little bald spot there. And do the same thing up here. Okay. Let's see. And this one I might kind of stick right like so. And then for my happy anniversary, I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of this as well. And I just cut the edge here, and that's what I'm going to use for that one. Okay, if you have the mini dimensionals, you could use those as well. And I'm going to stick that on here. Now you'll notice on this card, I'm kind of like I'm not centering everything. It's kind of off center, right? And that creates, makes it a little more interesting as well. Okay. Then I'm just going to use, you could use a glue dot. I'm just going to use my Tombow because it's handy, and I'm going to put my little bow right there. Okay. So there's that card. Again, you can make one-layered cards that are very cute. You just have to you have to practice. I think it takes some practice, especially if you're used to doing layers. It does take a little practice. But isn't that cute? Okay, I have one more card to share with you. And this one is a Christmas card. And it's this one here. It's not traditional Christmas colors, which, if you know me, I like traditional Christmas colors, but I also love doing cards non-traditional Christmas colors. So this is one of those, okay? And so this one uses an embossing folder. It uses the timber embossing folder, and this is one of the items you can get for free this month from Celebration. So if you spend $50, this is a Celebration offering as of August 2nd. So if you don't have this, and you've been wanting it, you can get it for free this month, okay? So for this card, we are going to use the Merry Merlot, okay, ink, and the Mossy Meadow ink, okay? All right, so, and the stamps that we need the poinsettia, or the flower. It doesn't have to be a poinsettia, but it's this stamp here, and then the Merry Christmas. Okay, so those are the two stamps we're going to use. And then I have some of these rings left over. Okay, so I'm going to use two of those. Doesn't matter which ones. I'm using some of the bigger ones to cover up the card. And let's see what else. The base of our card is going to be the crumb cake, okay? So we're going to fold that in half, and then we have a Blackberry Bliss layer. I ran this through the embossing folder to get the kind of wood look, okay? And so that's going to layer on. What else? Let's see here. For this card, I used a different ribbon because, again, I want to show you the versatility of all of our products. So this one I'm using the gold, gold satin edge ribbon, okay? And this is in the holiday catalog, okay? So, and this goes well with these colors. And for this one, I'm going to tie a bow. If you're getting the kit to go, you will have enough ribbon to tie a bow, but you can tie a knot if you don't like to tie bows. So that's the first thing I'm going to do is tie my bow. And let's kind of make this a little more even. Okay. So I'm tying it over to the right of my card. Because again, I'm going to create, I'm going to make it a little more interesting with less layers by moving things around and not having everything centered. Okay. If you're like me and you've been doing cards for a while, I tend to do the same thing, put all the same layers on a card, put everything, you know, center it. So I'm really trying hard to be a little different than that. So, okay. So that's our first layer. And so let's do our stamping. So these are going to kind of layer on there. I might switch this one around just because of how it sits and where my bow is. See how this one went to the left. This one might go to the right. We'll see. Okay, so I need a piece of scrap paper, which if you get a kit to go, you should have a scrap paper in there. The Very Vanilla, and we're going to stamp our poinsettia with the Merry Merlot. Again, I'm using my pad underneath so that I get a crisp image the first time I stamp it. Okay. And then I'm going to turn my paper and we're going to do the Merry Christmas over here in the Mossy Meadow. Okay. So ink that up. I just re-inked my pad, so hopefully it comes out even. That's why I'm kind of moving it around. Okay, and I'm going to do this one down here on the edge, because again, I'm going to cut it. Okay, so you can cut it with scissors. I'm going to use my little mini trimmer. Okay, so pull out my mini trimmer, and I'll cut that down like so. And that one. And then I'm going to fussy cut out the flower. And this one is really not that hard to fussy cut. You just come in, you want to, and I intentionally leave a white edge. That way I don't have to try to get, if you try to get right on that edge and then you don't, you can tell. So I intentionally leave a white edge. And then I come in and cut all the petals on one side, and then I'll come in and do the other side. That's what's easiest for me. So. Okay. Okay. All right, so I got that. So you can see on here, it's not quite close enough to the edge that like I'd want it to. But this piece is so small that rather than coming in and cutting across, because I don't feel like I'd get a straight cut, I'm going to cut them apart and then come in and cut it closer. Okay. I feel like that helps me get a straighter edge. If you have a larger piece like this, you can use your kitchen scissors to get a straight, longer cut. Okay, like so. Okay, and then I think we're ready to build our card. So again, I have some of these little pieces left over from I put all the dies in there with some of the colored cardstock, and that's what this is what's left. Okay, so then I think we're ready to build our card. So with my flower, I'm going to curl the petals, and I like to do this just with my bone folder. Okay, you don't have to do that, but such a small step like that creates some definition, and again, it makes the card a lot more interesting, right? Okay, So let's put our base on. Okay. So I'll start with that, and then I'm going to put this one in the front on dimensional, so this one in the back won't be on dimensional. So just do a little glue. Just kind of put it right there. If you wanted to, you could sponge the edges of these to give them a little more definition. I thought about that after the fact. But it looks nice even so without it. So okay. And then we'll stick that kind of under the bow like that. And then our little green pieces, let's see. Put that there. Let's see. I'll put that one there. Okay. Okay. And then I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of my flower. And then I'm also going to put dimensionals on my Merry Christmas, okay? So I'm just going to cut the edge here. Okay, so I'll put my flower down first. And I think I'll put it right there. And the Christmas I'm going to put straight across down the bottom here. Okay. But the Mary is going to be not straight. So we'll do that. Okay. And then we're going to embellish it. And for my poinsettia, I'm embellishing it with these. These are the gold holly leaves. These were in the holiday catalog last year and they brought them back. If you get my make and take kit, these will be in your kit so that you can sample them and see what they're like. Okay, and I am just going to put a little adhesive on these and then glue them in. Okay, and these are almost like a fabric. I'm not quite sure what they're made out of, but they're pretty nice. Just using a little liquid glue, and then we'll just stick those in. Okay, just that little hint of gold in there. And then I'm going to use the rustic metallic dots in the center of my poinsettia to finish it up. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. And there you have it. So you can see how I kind of switched them up. But it kind of makes it fun. Maybe if you do these for Christmas cards, then no 2 Christmas cards will be exactly the same. So those are the cards that I have to share with you today. So I will pull them all out again in case you missed the beginning. This one, and we did this one, and we did one more. Oh, this one here. So those are the cards. Again, if you share and comment this video, I will pick a random winner on Thursday to win this stack of cards. Okay. But you have to comment that you share it, because sometimes depending on your security settings, it'll tell me that someone shared it, but it won't tell me who. If you'd like to get this make and take kit in the mail, please place an order by Wednesday using this hostess code, $35 or more, and I'll automatically send you all the supplies to make these cards, minus the ink, okay, and the stamp set, obviously. You can improvise with the stamp set that you have, or order this bundle. This bundle is $52.50. That would get you the kit for free, it'd get you celebration item for free, and it also gets you my monthly tutorial bundle for free. So that is this. So every month I collaborate with a group of demonstrators to put together this bundle of tutorials. For August, there's 33 projects, and this comes by mail. You can download it and keep it for as long as you want. So let me know what you think if you're watching the replay. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Otherwise, thanks for joining me, and plan to join me next Monday at 4 p.m. Okay? Have a great evening, guys. Bye.